Hello, good evening, 4G Kings and Queens. This is King Akinshola Rashford Dad. Happy Sunday to everyone. Please, if you're online, indicate, then invite people to join us, share the live. Let's invite our friends to come online as we have a very sensitive topic to discuss together today. Please, if you can hear me, just indicate welcome to our Sunday night melody. Please invite your friends, and please indicate if you can hear me clearly and see me clearly. That's very important, as we have limited time to discuss on this sensitive topic before us this evening, which is the causes and effects of domestic violence. Please, kings and queens, please invite and share. Please, if you're online, indicate I'm waiting. Okay, good evening, Olori Adeleke Olayinka. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Okay, this evening, the topic before us this evening, without wasting much of our time, we are to discuss on domestic violence. From the word domestic violence, it means an happening that happened in within the family. Domestic, something within us, something around us. Domestic violence, which is basically fights that happens within the nuclear family. Let's use that word. Fight that happen within the nuclear family, which is basically between the husband and the wife. Now, when we are talking about domestic violence, okay, okay, thank you very much, first lady. Thank you very much, man. Powerful admin. Okay, when we are talking about domestic violence between you and I, when we are talking about domestic violence, we look at it and say, who is at fault? The first thing we need to know is we shouldn't assign fault to any party when we are talking about domestic violence. Yes, one party is surely going to be at fault, but the word domestic violence doesn't give chance to allocate or to assign someone like, okay, you are at fault. Maybe either the man or the woman. Yes, the causes of domestic violence. I don't know if anybody can give us some of the causes of domestic violence without looking at, because I have some points jotted down here. Okay, it said domestic violence can, okay, yes, domestic abuse. Very well. Intimate partner abuse can also be defined as a pattern of behavior in relationship that is used to gain or maintain power and control over an intimate partner. Wow. Bravo, King Henry. I love that. To gain control over an intimate partner. Yes, that is very much correct. But another aspect, when we are talking about domestic violence, at times it's not mainly just to gain power, to gain control over intimate partner or over. Sometimes sometimes they only take it too far in like curbing an act. Let me use that word. Some of the causes of domestic violence. To start with, I number one thing I wrote here is peer pressure. Peer pressure nowadays goes a long way. It affects a lot of homes when we are talking about domestic violence. Peer pressure. Oh, I can't take this when probably the men when they are in their cliques, when they are there talking, enjoying. Say, oh, your wife did this. Never, I can't take this. Unknowingly to you, they are taking what is more than that. So immediately you hear the word, I can't take that. You go back home. You want your wife to stop that attitude. And meanwhile, lest we forget, what works for Mr. A might not work for Mr. B, or what works for Mrs. A might not work for Mr. B. And another thing, okay, Facebook is saying those who experience or witness violence may develop a variety of problems, including anxiety, depression, insecurity, anger, poor anger management, poor social skills, pathological lying, yes, a lot, just to mention but few. There are so many things that they suffer from. Now, lack of communication also causes domestic violence when there is no mutual communication between the husband and wife. Yes, gradually is going to cause domestic violence. And another, alcoholism, poverty, lack of education. This can be some of the causes. Bravo, King. You're doing well. Yes, these are some of the reasons that cause domestic violence. Another thing that I wrote here is not fulfilling expected role. To buttress that, as a woman, there are some roles that is expected to be played as a wife in the family. Lack of understanding between partners. As you're very much correct. When there is no understanding between both parties. Yes, based on this, let me explain something for us. When we are talking about, it said, okay, before that, Queen Adeyemi, good evening, ma'am. You said poverty and unemployment can cause, wow, this alone can cause that. That is where I wrote, I said, not fulfilling expected rules. Imagine when the man is expected to do one or two things, and because of financial constraint, he couldn't fulfill his part. Then you see the wife, the pressure is mounting day by day. The pressure is there. The wife will like, oh, Rebecca, can't you see your mates? Can't you see this? Can't you see that? Due to peer pressure, everything comes up on the man. Then the next thing you see that the man strikes when the pressure is so much. Yes, it's a very deep topic for this lady, a very deep one. Another thing is probably when you look at it, I think Henry mentioned something like distance between the couples. Yes, it causes a lot of domestic violence. And the main reason why this happens is when you see the man shouting emotional and psychological abuse.
So good evening, kings and queens. Thank you for joining us tonight. We will not be able to continue. We'll postpone it till next Sunday, where I'm going to take over from this topic. And we are so sorry and an apology for the network glitches. Enjoy your evening and join me tomorrow on Moral Story. Good night. Bye-bye. I think he's back, but I'm not sure if he's going to be. Don't know what's going on. I think he's back. Let's see. No. Don't know. If you are back, King, can you talk, please?
No, ma. Sorry, ma. I'm here, ma.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I'm back. I'm back, ma. Okay. Sorry for the break in transmission. Sorry. That has to do with network. I'm sorry, realities. Okay, as we were saying earlier on, we are talking about domestic violence. Yes, network is dealing with, oh, sorry, first lady, same here. Having to do with network. Now, when we are talking about the effects, now we know the causes now. We know most of the causes. We are talking about peer pressure, using of negative words, lack of communication, not playing your expected roles properly, which has to do with probably lack of financial fitness. When someone is not financially buoyant, yes, that can cause domestic violence. When the man, okay, citing an example now, the situation of the country here in Nigeria. Imagine buying fuel at the rate of 300 naira per liter. You want to buy 1,000 naira fuel, and you have to board bike 1,000 naira. That's coming down to 2,000 naira. Still coming back home, then maybe with the pressure of everything on the road, you come back home and say, "Where's my food?" And she probably a word that you don't like at that time comes out. The man can easily strike. So even everything now, if care is not taken, this issue of domestic violence, I would say I just pray it doesn't escalate more than this, because it's now getting out of hand as it's getting more rampant. When we look deep about the causes, financial constraint, it has a lot of effect. King Odako said infidelity, exactly. That's another thing that causes it. Infidelity, excessive violence. Let's break it down. 80% na men cause am. Wow. Bravo. Okay, so you said 80% of domestic violence is basically caused by men. Okay, maybe based on your statistics or maybe based on your observation. But for me, I think that's an hypothesis actually. That's an hypothesis. If I'm to say, I can say 50-50, because infidelity is in both parts, is in both sex. both the man and the woman, either of them. So infidelity also causes domestic violence. Yes, nobody can take that. Nobody can take that. Okay, which other one am I seeing here? Okay, let me see other comments. Please share this live. I want more people to come up for live. Please share for us. Okay, I'm still thinking. Okay, so the effect, it has a lot of effect. It has effect on the children if they've given birth. If not, it has this psychological effect. I think most of us read in the news sometimes early this month when a young lady just got down from the cab and jumped into the lagoon. When they asked the cabman, they said, "What actually happened?" The cabman said the only thing he could hear or notice was that she was having an heated argument. She was having heated argument with her fiancé. So I think look at that. Look at where that leads to. She had to jump into the lagoon. So peer pressure makes people take decisions that you can't blame them if you're not in their shoes. You only say you feel them. You only say you understand them. No, you can't. Domestic violence is more than what you and I can understand. Transfer of aggression is another cause of domestic violence. You got it right. Queen Adeyemi, good evening, ma. Transfer of aggression. Maybe you'll be facing a lot of things. Maybe during the day, you just transfer aggression from there. Little thing that shouldn't cost much. The next thing is fighting. Domestic violence. It goes a long way. When you're talking about another thing I noticed domestic violence is
Wow, good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. Thank you so much. And the network is not friendly tonight, so
you look at
we'll talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it next week. Have a good evening and thank you for joining us. God bless you. Bye.